sit. Just sit down. Just sit down.
Okay. I wasn't going anywhere. No plans for the rest of the afternoon.
You've had like 2 cups of coffee and you are wired. Just
I am buzzing a little bit, you know.
knocking out several of these in one go seemed like a good idea at the time, but we are essentially now both whizzing on caffeine.
What? Right, who's for shots?
It seemed like such a good idea at the time.
It always does whenever you get towards that time of the night.
What else have you got for me then?
Okay, I have been playing a little bit of Old Man's Journey. I've actually been playing this on PC, but it is also available on mobile as well. It was $1.99 on iOS, in around the same price on Android, and I think it's about £3.99, £4 on PC as well. Now, I played Old Man's Journey once before, put about 5-10 minutes into it, and actually I really bounced off it that first time that I played it, and I think the reason I bounced off it was because I played the game Burly Men at Sea before that, and to make sort of a sweet comparison between the two, Burly Men at Sea is a fisherman's friend. It really sort of grabs you. It's very idiosyncratic and potentially very, I don't know, personal taste. Obviously a lot of people don't necessarily like the full-on flavour of Fisherman's Friends, whereas Old Man's Journey is definitely more of a Werther's original. That's not to say it's bad, but it's very comforting.
Sticky when you find it in the bottom of your pocket.
Well, yeah. I always end up covered in fluff. Just because of that contrast, I bounced off Old Man's Journey. But the game itself, whenever I sat down and played it, was really enjoyable. You are an old man, you receive a letter in the mail, and you suddenly dash off to an as yet unknown destination. And you puzzle your way through a variety of scenes by moving and adapting the background scenery. So you're maybe lifting hills up and down so that they connect together or have a connecting point, which means that you can move on to the next one and then adapt the other hills both forwards and backwards until you can find a clear path to the destination or the end point of that scene. It really grabbed me this time and thoroughly enjoyed it. Have you played it?
Yeah, I have played it, and it's interesting because I think you said you found it comforting.
Yes.
And I didn't find it comforting. It's a really nice looking game with a simple puzzle mechanic. And here's a hint for you. Sometimes if you grab like either end of the hill, you can move either end up or down, and it was 3/4 of the way through the game before I worked that out, when I was in absolute frustration that for somehow I couldn't make a connecting point to get this guy to jump up onto this other hill. But I thought, oh, if I touch the other end, idiot. So yeah, that's the thing. But it's got like little story beats as you go through, and again, it's another one of these. It's just told with little vignettes. Again.
Yeah. The only words in it are anything sort of printed on buildings, which are all definitely of a French tone.
Yeah, but I didn't find the little vignettes comforting by any means. Well, I found them actually a little bit like, as you play through, just kind of thinking, I don't like this guy.
No, his life choices are definitely questionable. It's probably the best way of putting it.
Yeah, and it made me want to play through to the end to see how it played out. Mm-hmm. But it's a story I've come away with. I'm really glad I played it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of stuck with me, but I can't really empathise with the character.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
And it's really weird that I'm saying that about a game that essentially has a story told through about a dozen still images.
Yeah. That is very true of the story. Yeah. I can definitely see your point, because he's not necessarily a
He's a-
role model.
He's a nice old man that you help to walk across the countryside, and the more you play, the more you think, you're not a nice old man. You're a bit of a knob.
Definitely not Santa.
Definitely not Santa. But the fact that I'm so like vitriolic about it, and the fact that I'm so bothered by it, like a month after playing it, it shows that it's stuck with me. It's really stuck with me. Mm-hmm. So read into that what you will. I think the whole point of doing this is let's find an experience that's going to last longer than a cup of coffee. Well, this is it.
Yeah,
this is absolutely it.
Whether I'd recommend it, I don't know. If I had changed a spare from something else, like another purchase or whatever, I think I probably would spend the money on this. Because I do like the puzzle mechanics in it. I completely understand you saying about the story, because yeah, he's just not nice. But there is a redeeming moment. Not say any more than that.
Don't get me wrong, he's not like a puppy murderer. I put something about it on Twitter after I played it, and somebody said, "Oh, is it worth playing?" Because somebody had told me not to bother. Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, if you can forgive the fact it's really short and it's really simple puzzle mechanic and kind of a slightly downbeat story." And as I was reading it, I was like, this sounds terrible. Like, I'm really not selling this. I'm not giving this, it doesn't sound... But it's really stuck with me. Mm. And the longer it is since I've played it, the more I kind of feel like, yeah, people should play this. So yeah. So if you want to see how a story can be told really simply, but really effectively, then, yeah, give it a shot.
Yeah. I think that's probably a fair assessment.
Right then.